Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Golden Opportunities Coaching and Pro Wrestling Logic YouTube channels. This, of course, is Pro Wrestling Logic 1800. Audios deep on a variety of topics. Please feel free to reach out if you are looking for coaching on my Golden Opportunities Coaching, life, relationship, business coaching side of things here on YouTube, or if you're just here for the wrestling stuff, we'll get to that in 2 seconds. This is the Superstars of Wrestling review series for the 9th of July 2000, I'm sorry, not 2000, 1994. The last one we have for a little while, although that doesn't mean they won't add more sooner or later. We've got about just under 220, I think, is the number at last count of the Superstars series. I think they ran somewhere between 400 425 of these in total over the 10-year run of the program, and certainly would love to have the whole run in there. But anyway, summer '94, hard time for the WWF. Jim Ross and Jerry Lawler, who are also doing, I think, starting to do Raw around this time, maybe a little later, probably maybe '95 they start doing Raw, but they're here. And then we see Ted DiBiase's Undertaker, otherwise known as Brian Lee, the Faker Taker, although not portrayed as such, portrayed as the real Undertaker, as it were, at the time, against Tatanka, jumping him from behind. What I find ironic is this is June of '94, and Tatanka and Lex Luger, the turn happens in August, I believe. So, very end of the babyface run of Tatanka here in the '90s, which was a pretty big run, having a year and a half plus undefeated streak. Big boot by Undertaker, and punches and stuff in the corner. Doesn't get all he wants on that. Tatanka fights up from underneath Undertaker with chokes and other ways of going about things, chops, and the basic leg kick by Undertaker, and Taker manages to get a choke slam and other such things, getting the victory with the modified tombstone, and ultimately Ted DiBiase very happy. The Undertaker versus Undertaker match is officially announced here at the end of this particular run of time, and Ted DiBiase is maybe happy with that. We really don't know. Paul Bearer kind of is the one that hints at it. One of the Executioners against Mabel as a single here in 1994. I don't know if I know they bring back Sir Mo, Mo of Men on a Mission, in time for '95. I don't know if Mo's out with an injury here, that Mabel's been given the benefit of singles action, but shrugs them off after some headlocks. Executioners are usually a tag team, and they're doing the masked deal. Drop kicks by Executioner, doesn't get all he wants on that, and Mabel hits the spin kick and the splash, and a victory for him. They were doing at the time around the horn with guys like, but not limited to, Yokozuna, Big Man versus Big Man. I remember seeing one of those. Might have even been this year. Enhancement talent, Ben Jordan, and some other stuff shown as part of a music video in the upcoming kind of summer deal here. Then we see Shawn Michaels and Diesel makes his way out. Chris Kanyon, who I did not realize was part of the WWF enhancement run before his WCW run. I know he'd done some Smoky Mountain work. Did not remember that he had done Kanyon doing enhancement work for the WWF. Probably had heard it, just hadn't seen it in a while. Again, this 1994 stuff, the first run through. Diesel is his opponent here. Several shots to the midsection. Diesel still your Intercontinental Champion through SummerSlam '94. Shawn Michaels seconding him with some punches, knees, and the sidewalk slam by Diesel, a.k.a. Kevin Nash. And, of course, he hits the jackknife powerbomb and gets the victory. Diesel unstoppable, and they are, speaking of unstoppable, we see Typhoon and Yokozuna next week. Yokozuna already having a match with Earthquake on Raw in a sumo-style ropes removed match in previous weeks. So that's kind of interesting, just that they're trying to put the idea of Yokozuna still as a major force here in 1994 as a concept, but he's doing majority tag matches, but he'll have some clunker other matches. Anyway, Luna and Alundra Blaze, aka Medusa Michelli, managing there. The Medusa does the upside down spot in the corner. Luna had been managing Bigelow and now does one or two loops with Alundra, aka Medusa, around the corner, around the horn for house shows before bringing in Bull Nakano in the summer of same. Boston Crab by Luna. Luna wrenches back on her, tries to get advantages wherever she can. Lots of kicks and martial arts style stuff by Medusa. Medusa, of course, by Alundra, who of course had spent a good bit of time in Japan before coming to the WWF in the 93-94 time frame, end of 93, beginning of 94. Obviously getting a win and retaining her ladies championship. The Bret Hart commercial hanging out with fans is here, and ultimately we kind of continue seeing more of a heel Owen Hart at the time. Pretty big deal, of course, the King of Hearts, Owen Hart, probably some of his better stuff. And he is seconded by brother-in-law Jim Neidhart. Neidhart, of course, as a heel, doesn't really do a whole lot at the time. Kind of does some matches with Davey Boy Smith, who comes in around SummerSlam for the cage match between Bret and Owen. One of the better cage matches of the 90s, maybe of all time WWF-wise. Anyway, Owen hits a neck breaker, among other things. Gets the top rope drop kick, and Owen looks to be in $1 million worth of shape here in 1994 in the summer of the year. Randy Savage's Slim Jim commercial still airing, and we kind of go through that. And of course, Owen also uses the sharpshooter. We'd be remiss not to mention the use of his brother's hold, and of course, Bret Hart and Owen Hart on a collision course for about, I don't even know, maybe year and a half, something like that. Speaking about a year and a half, that's about how long, maybe a little less, that Duke the Dumpster Droese, who's up next, lasts. He's doing matches around with Jerry Lawler in the South and other mid to low card guys. Otherwise, body slams, punches, kicks, really basic stuff with him. Enhancement talent even gets a little more approach than is entirely necessary. Hard shots there, and again, we kind of go forward. Some highlights of bloopers, bleeps, and body slams and that sort of thing. More hype of Yokozuna versus Typhoon to close the program. Also Yoko on the cover of the WWF magazine. But we close with that, and Jim Cornette telling us that, in fact, Yokozuna is one of, if not the biggest guys in the history of the WWF. To close the program, we'll be back with more right after this.